irony is saying something the complete opposite of what you mean.
Oh, yeah, that is
and
what I
you
do.
say that there's no one famous from Austria. There are plenty of people famous from Austria.
People always build their own punchlines to that joke. Most of them think of Schwarzenegger instead of Hitler.
Really?
Yeah.
I was bad. The one I thought of first was Conchita Wurst. Hello, welcome to Comedy with an Accent podcast. I'm your Taiwanese comedian, Kuan-wen. I interview comedians who perform English stand-up comedy but who are not native English speakers, or they can have very distinct British regional accent. This podcast is all about comedy, about accent, about languages, and about the comedy technique. So stay tuned if you're interested. Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of Comedy with an Accent podcast. The guest I have today, I'm very excited because once again, it's another language, at least I have some knowledge of. The guest has been nominated for BBC New Comedy Award in 2019, if I remember that correctly.
True,
and
yeah.
You probably have seen him perform at the legendary comedy store in London. So I'm going to say today, herzlich willkommen, Herr Hubert Mayr. So our guest today is Hubert Mayr.
Thank you. What an honor to be here. And just
In
to
the
be
switch.
greeted with accentless German.
Accent. Oh, that's too kind. I up my first syllable. Anyway, Hubert is wearing an NBA kind of jersey, and I'm just like, what is this construction worker attire? But we are recording this episode in scorching heat. We are before the hottest day in England in 2000. No, in the whole UK this year, I guess. Ever.
I think.
Okay, first question I have for you. I remember I always try to call you Hubert.
Yeah.
Then I check all the videos and all the other podcasts you've gone on, and people call you Hubert, and you call yourself Hubert. Did you simply anglicize your name for their sake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just easier.
Just
I said,
easier, okay.
I couldn't be asked with...
I was doubting myself so much. I went on YouTube and say I didn't even type how to pronounce the name Hubert. I actually type in German, wie man sagt, die Name. Hubert. and then I realized there's no point me being so picky on the who sound, because if I want to do your name correctly, it's actually Hubert. Is that right?
Hubert.
Yeah, and I never really nailed the German R. It's a very elusive thing. It's just like the hint of racism still lurking on continental Europe.
Yeah. Like that R. It's barely audible.
Would you like
It's
to
just like the
demonstrate?
racism.
How would you say your name correctly?
Hubert Mayr.
Hubert Mayr, yeah. But if then people call you Mayor, then you just rhyme with nightmare.
Yeah, I still don't correct them. Like I did the Comedy Store a few weeks ago, and the MC asked me how to pronounce your surname. Is it Mayer? And I'm like, yeah. Whatever you want.
I guess if you spell your Meyer, M-E-R-E-R, then they will pronounce as Meyer.
Yeah,
In your case, your spelling is less frequently seen by English people.
It's a very Austrian way of spelling it. If German people see my surname written down, they know that I'm Austrian. There's probably like 5 different ways to spell the surname Mayr.
You preempted my question.
Oh, no.
You're from Austria.
Yeah, sorry.
Aus Österreich. Our very first German-speaking guest today is not from Germany, and that's deliberate. They don't represent all the German-speaking population on the entire planet. Do people mistake you as German, though?
Yeah, that's the standard.
That's the standard, but by that standard, it's because they don't know Austria exists, or they don't think there's any difference they need to...
It's a bit of both, to be honest with you. I mean, in Britain especially. I still remember the first... when I first moved to the UK, like the very first day with my girlfriend at the time, we went to look for flats, and the estate agent showed us around. The first thing he asked us where we're from. We said Austria, and he was like, "Oh, is that in Europe?" Like, yeah, okay.
Where else? Did you just say, no, it's in Central Asia?
No, where the do you
The
think
real
it is?
name is
Can I curse?
Österreichstein.
No.
You can curse. I will beep it out.
Oh, will you?
Because I want the clean rating. No guest has forced me to have to do it more than 3 times per episode.
Okay,
Let's
you
see
know
whether
what?
you
No,
can break the record.
I'm gonna work clean. But yeah, no. People genuinely always assume I'm from Germany. I mean, if they hear my accent and they're like, "Oh, where in Germany are you from?" I mean,
Do they ask
It'd be
you where
weird
in
if-
Germany are you from after you say that you're from Austria or before?
generally before. But also, it'd be really weird if someone was like, "Oh, are you Austrian?" Like, how did you pick up on that? Like that'd be weird. Because obviously you're going to go with the bigger country.
Has that ever happened though?
No.
So no one has ever correctly
assumed that
predicted, assumed, or figure out you're from Austria before you even say a thing. Yeah, I'm not joking. When I say I can relate, you will understand, right? Because everyone assume I'm
Chinese.
from China. Yeah, I'm Chinese, right?
Yeah.
And also because poverty is lifted in China right now. So it's perfectly possible they are fat Chinese people like me. I mean, because if the country still have the image of a malnourished population, they can say, look, I'm from a country with prosperity. So there's no way.
Look,
but you see China's GDP is quite high right now. So it's perfectly possible. And I guess the problem is if we speak the Chinese language, there's an obvious difference in terms of accent. And there is between Austrian German and what they say the High German spoken in Germany. But the accent in English probably doesn't make that much difference to them. Which leads me to my first question. I want to get to this question first.
Okay.
As a question, standard question I ask every single guest. So Hubert, do you believe when you speak English that you have an accent?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. I mean, I know it's not a bad accent. Like it got better.
Define bad accent.
I mean, I don't know. I know how to pronounce stuff. It's not like a super obvious accent, but it's noticeable enough for me to, for example, when I do comedy, to address it in my set.
Okay. So when you say it's not a bad accent, you're not talking about...
This isn't the racism thing.
bad.
Not from one of the bad countries.
It's a good question. When I say scheisse, do I beep it out? Or would Apple be able to figure out that it's a swear word, but not in English?
Oh, Apple would.
Apple would.
They'd figure it out.
Gee. Yeah. Right, never mind. So you didn't mean that the overall having a German accent, by German would mean the language, not that country, is the bad accent. Is your accent is not...
What I mean is it's not a super horrific German accent.
Yeah.
Like if, some Germans can't really, like they can't pronounce a TH or whatever.
Give me an example of a horrific German accent.
I can't do that. I can't even do a fake one. When they speak like this, like they can't even pronounce.
But that's more often than not the American Hollywood actor when they try to play a German villain and they do a super bad German accent, and that's the one I would think of.
But there is definitely, if I just watch German TV and they interview a footballer after a football game in English and it's a German presenter, sometimes they're so bad. I mean, they're really...
But do Austrian presenters tend to speak English better than a German presenter?
Yes. There's a reason for this. In Austria, pretty much everyone grows up bilingual because you speak a really, really heavy Austrian dialect, which is almost its own language. And you also learn how to speak High German. So you learn both, and that somehow rewires your brain into like making it easier for you to learn languages. Okay. Generally, the Austrian accent isn't quite as harsh as a German.
Okay, so if I interpret what you just said, you're saying basically your first language is Austrian German, and your first foreign language is German. I thought that only applied to Swiss people, but you just made that statement.
It's not quite as heavy as for Swiss people because Swiss German is really its own deal.
Okay. I'm happy to explain because some people are not familiar with the term. High German doesn't mean it's a high class or not in terms of social class. It was spoken in the southern Healy area at a certain time in history. It's basically another term for standard German. It's where most German people learn. So when you say a German is well spoken, then the German they speak is High German. So for you, in your little village, your little dwarf, you can speak whatever. You can be as local as you like. But when you go to Vienna, do you have to switch to High German or not quite yet?
No, not in Vienna.
Not in Vienna.
Nowhere in Austria, actually. They will understand my dialect.
If you cross the border, but only stay in Bavaria, because you're not very different. Like, I think Austria is not that different from Bavaria, and Bavaria has very strong, their own distinct accent as well.
Actually, I'm from the Bavarian border, so my dialect is exactly the same as across the border. Yeah, so culturally, Austria and Bavaria are actually much closer than Bavaria and the rest of Germany.
No one ever proposed that Bavaria cede from the German Federation.
People propose that all the time.
And then merge with Austria to become one.
Yeah, people propose that. It's not the Bavarians.
Lederhosen-wearing.
See, the stereotype about Germans in media in the US is always like Lederhosen and stuff like that. That's literally just Bavaria.
I think it's better to describe them as mountain Germans. So these are the people, they live in the mountain and kidnap hostage in their basement.
Yeah, so you know what Germans call Austrians? Like Northern Germans call Austrians Schluchtenscheiße, which means valley shitter, I think, if you want to translate it.
And how do you guys pay back? I know they call people from Hamburg Fischtopf.
That's a German thing. Austrians just call Germans Piefke.
Piefke? Which means...
Preußen. They're just ancient terms of Germanic people, really.
Or maybe you can just call them like occupant or something.
Invaders.
Or did they? All right, okay,
No,
let's not talk about...
We invited them in. We need to get rid of that myth.
Okay, so my second question, I think you've already answered it, because my second question would have been, do you consider your accent to be strong or not? And you say that it's not a bad accent. You think it's noticeable?
No, that's what I mean. It's not a strong accent.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I really don't think your accent is strong, though. When you talk, it takes me a while to figure out, I'm not sure, because I'm not a native English speaker. So I wouldn't notice something suspicious for a while. It's after...
I could sneak up on you.
After 3 or 4 sentences, okay, I think he's not a native English speaker, but he speaks English fluently. But I cannot establish where you're from. And it takes...
Where would you guess? You think? It's really hot in here. Every
I
listener
know, I'm
needs...
sweating. And it just, I probably would guess you're not from Southern Europe. And you're probably not from Eastern Europe. But somewhere in the middle to Northern Europe. And it takes maybe another 6 to 8 sentences. Or you probably just get tired. And there's one particular vowel just elongated so much. Oh, this guy's a German speaker.
yeah.
But it takes me quite a while to figure that out. I don't know whether native English speakers will be more sensitive to your accent.
I
guess they
will.
will.
They can tell immediately. Yeah, they can.
Which leads me to the next question, because I noticed in the video you've done, so your performance in Comedy Store, you try to get it out of the way. So you say at the start of your performance, I'm Hubert, anglicized name. I'm from Austria. I'm going to say this before I creep you guys out.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a difference between get it out of the way, let the audience know where you're from. But why did you choose the word not to creep you guys out? Is it based on a real experience or because you think that word sounds funny? Where does that come from?
It's just that I think a German accent has a creepy connotation in general. I mean,
but is that your opinion or someone has feed that back to you?
No, I think I came up with it. I don't think anyone. No, maybe. I don't know. I think some former housemates said that my accent is a bit creepy.
Your former housemate?
In combination with my voice.
But the question is whether it's you or is the language in general. No, because...
No, I just decided to put that in as a little setup for the joke. And if you had to think of a creepy accent in the English language, I mean, what would you come up with? What would be your top 3? I mean, obviously German's in there. Has to be.
I think...
Russian, maybe.
No, yeah, I would agree. One of the Slavic ones. But, so for example, I interview Radu, and Radu has really funny way of speaking. He say that himself. I wouldn't find that creepy. But if someone who does a very deadpan delivery with a like East European Russian accent, but in a very cold-blooded way, it does make me feel that it's a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Or a really fake American Valley accent that creeps me out.
Can you do one?
I think I can try.
Loads of vocal fry in there, please.
No, I don't want to. I will embarrass myself. Valley accent is super creepy. Okay, that's amazing. Something like that creeps me out. It just
that
layers and layers of fakeness outside. So.
Yeah, you get the whole robotic vibe of those people.
I got the answer I wanted. Did someone say to you, an ex-flatmate?
Yeah.
Is that the reason you no longer live with that flatmate?
No.
Personality. How dare you? How dare you
I don't live
accent?
there any longer for different reasons, but that certainly didn't help.
Okay. Do I know that flatmate?
No.
Okay.
No,
Right.
No.
I saw you some gossip.
Girl,
anyway, I forgot to say, do you notice though, you have a very low register.
What does that mean?
Your voice is low.
Yeah, no, I do know that. Yeah.
I was actually worried before today that your voice would be so low, the default microphone setting wouldn't work for you. And when I go back to listen to the audio, I would just hear an hour of wails. Like,
Where you thought my voice was outside of what a MacBook can capture.
Or you'll reverberate with a very sensitive setting. So the pigeons or the cats around the area will be screaming and running around. The foxes will be migrating. But you have a very low voice and you don't move your voice up a lot. when your ex-flatmate say you can be a bit creepy,
Oh, that's what they
I
mean.
don't think it's just purely because of the German language. Part of it has to be your personal way of speaking, plus your overall
I don't know how to
appearance.
take that. Like you
That's not even 30 minutes. I'm already insulting my guests. Okay, let me put it this
You're
way.
picturing me walking into like the living room going,
Okay,
we're out of
Ruben,
toilet
I'm
paper.
trying very hard. What I wanted to say is, in our contemporary, the comedy circuit, I think you have one of the most beautiful male voice for the comedians I know. But I don't think you necessarily try to use it for comedy effect because it's your natural way of speaking. Your voice is very low. Even when you giggle, it's still a low voice. It has to someone makes you chuckle, like a big belly aching chuckle. Your voice went up
A
to
really
it.
loud laugh, yeah. I went to the taping of Sean Walsh's special at the Bill Murray, and I watched the special on YouTube.
Could you
and
hear
I
yourself?
cannot watch it because I can hear myself constantly laughing. Yeah,
But-
it ruins it for me.
Which level of laughing?
Oh, it's just like really like that sort of.
But it doesn't happen to you a lot though, because your voice don't reach the upper half of your. I think your voice is very sort of chesty.
Chesty.
It's because of coronavirus.
Yeah, I know I have a low voice, a deep voice. I remember no one would ask me to do this here in the UK, but back in Austria, some friends of my girlfriend's at the time, they said, hey, you should record yourself reading like goodnight stories. Like that.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. You have a very good radio voice. Soothing.
Yeah, I should do late night radio.
Is it soothing
this
though? I
one.
mean,
No, it's creepy. See, that's what I keep telling people.
okay, I'm not gonna say soothing. I think your voice has a very strong manipulative power to it.
Whoa.
So your voice, whether it's soothing or it's creepy, depends how you want to use it. Does that make sense to you?
Not really.
Okay, so let me first. Have you ever watched Dexter?
Yes.
Right. I'm not saying. Okay, there's element of.
I forgot. We're going to serial
Okay,
killers.
so how many dead bodies have you chopped out and eaten in your
Is
fridge?
this off the record?
Okay, there's an element of you that I can think of Dexter, the multi-layer murderer, the psychopath. But what I would try to link to is your voice to the actor who plays Dexter.
Yeah.
Michael C. Hall. And I think your voice is very similar to his voice quality, but yours is even lower. So
Oh, okay. So you mean the guy who never played anything other than a complete creep or serial killer?
not really, because when he played the role in 6 Feet Under, he was a very shy gay
so you
man.
didn't
So
watch
his
that.
that role doesn't really. You know, he used to be a Broadway actor. He sang in a role of Billy Flynn in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Razzle dazzle,
Yeah, I
razzle.
could-
That's him as well.
I couldn't do that. So we don't
I
don't
finally
have the same
believe you.
voice.
Okay, we are on and on at this void, but we need to get to a conclusion. So what I am trying to say is your voice is very powerful, even a bit hypnotizing.
Oh.
But I don't think you were fully aware
No.
how powerful your voice
This is
is.
the first time I've heard this.
And you only use it when you, because in my personal opinion, I think he also think his brand is dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very frequent reference to death or suicide.
Yeah, that's the one punchline I have to every single joke I do.
Exactly. So when you are building up to that reveal, your voice was extremely powerful compared to, say, if I try to do the same thing, even if it's not my normal comedy delivery, I can't do it quite as well as you do because of your voice quality, if that makes sense to you. And
Yeah,
and
you're
that-
breaking this down to a level that I've never broken it down to. I just
It's like,
say,
that's it. I'm not doing this recording anymore. Just too much. Too much.
no, seriously, I noticed immediately that when I started doing comedy, that there was something that people take to. I don't get a lot of hecklers either. Like people hang on to my words for some reason. And I don't know if it's partly the voice but it's not something I really think about. It's just the way
Because
I
your
talk.
voice has this velvety quality that works really well with the radio microphone. When you slow down to the optimal rhythm and tempo, and when you speak, few people will have the audacity to interrupt you because we want to know what happens next.
Powerful Austrian orator, huh?
Right, so- but maybe it will disappear because it made you too self-conscious today. So after that, you were able to do those jokes.
No. I appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback on my voice. I honestly, I
Okay, because let me explain. So the way you do your comedy is almost like there's a half quality of whispering into someone's ear. You're like a really good public speaker. Make people believe you're talking next to them, almost in their ear. And that's when I say you have this manipulative capability.
Yeah, I know. Like even when I do long setups, I don't change my inflection ever. I always thought about it as more of the joke speaks for itself. So I don't have to dance around on stage.
Maybe people didn't dare to give you unsolicited feedback, but I think you can ask around.
People do.
Whether well, I haven't until today. You could definitely use your voice. No, oh shit! It suggests that I've been criticizing you, not having used your voice to the potential.
Yeah, What you're saying is I've wasted the last 5 years.
You were not doing comedy correctly, my friend. Okay, sorry.
But it is actually more high energy now than I was when I first started. I tried to be like a deadpan comic, which I'm not really now. It's just the way I talk.
I don't think deadpan is the best way to describe where you should or you want to go, though, because the more I remember, by the way, I haven't seen Hubert for 3 years, 3 years and a half.
Yeah.
But my recollection of the way you do your comedy comes from a place of pain.
Yeah.
But you seem to be managing. The more you reveal, people start to wonder, but is he managing? To make sure people don't get too worried about you, instead of actually enjoying your joke, you will release a very playful side of you to say, hey guys, I'm okay. I'm still fine to a degree. So you can come by just enjoy the comedy. Don't worry too much about me. I don't know whether there's a correct issue. So you can call it pain. You can call it unresolved issue, melancholy. There's something
unresolved issues. That's good.
Slightly dark lurking in the base of you. It's like the coronavirus that will never be eradicated. We just have to live with it. I think for you it's the same. You probably cannot permanently remove all those stuff, but you've learned to deal with them. Comedy is either the result or part and parcel of you dealing with those.
Yeah, I do dark jokes. I always target myself with them. So, like, I don't try to be edgy or anything.
Yeah.
It's probably partly because I'm Austrian as well. Austrians have a very, very dark sense of humor in general.
Why is that?
That's one thing I try to explain to people when they ask what's the difference between Germans and Austrians, is actually the sense of humor is very, very different. All the really famous comedy films in Austria are all incredibly dark and sad, actually.
Dark in what way? Very controversial stuff, or they push the human emotion?
One of my favorite films ever, it's called Indian, which is the German word for India. And it's just about these two traveling health inspectors, basically. And they're really mismatched. These two guys, they're really big Austrian comedians. They have to go on a road trip together for ages, and they couldn't be more different. They hate each other and absolutely despise each other. And they drive around in the flatlands of Austria in the eastern part. And it's all very bleak, but it's incredibly funny. The film concludes by one of them getting testicular cancer and dying. And it's like, this is a comedy. It's very, very dark. And there's loads of films like that. There's one called Muttertag, which is Mother's Day. It's set in Vienna. There's all kinds of cannibalism stuff going on in it. It's like this really, really weird, dark humor compared to Germany, where the biggest comedian will sell out the Olympia Stadium in Berlin. Mario Barth. All his material was about his girlfriend going shopping. It's just, it's a different...
So
it's possible.
This bleak, dark jokes in your cultural DNA. So before you even started doing comedy, because you started doing English comedy first, right? Have you ever done any German comedy?
I did a taping for Comedy Central in May, Roast Battle. That was my first time ever on a stage and speaking German. It was for national TV immediately, so obviously it was a horrific experience. I was so nervous, but it went well in the end, and it gave me the confidence that I would now consider doing stand-up in German.
Okay.
But
Kann man sagen, hast du die Erfahrung genießen?
Genossen.
Should just corrected me.
Habe ich, yeah. Yeah.
At least you didn't try to say, the Austrian and German humor are different in that the Germans have no sense of humor. That's such a cheap joke.
It's not true either.
It's not true, but Austria also enjoyed the lollipop schlager. So in terms of music taste, you guys are just as bad as German.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it different than when it comes to comedy choices?
I don't know. I can't believe you brought up Schlager.
I'm a big Schlager fan.
It's the worst music ever.
Atemlos durch die Nacht. Is that considered Schlager as well?
I think it would be, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, who's that again? What's her face? I can't remember.
Helena Fischer.
Helena Fischer. Whoa.
That was one
We've
of
gone
the...
off track here.
We've gone off track. If you are heading to the famous Oktoberfest, you have to be aware, if you absolutely hate cheap Schlager type of cheap music, that's all they play during the entire Oktoberfest.
Yeah, Oktoberfest is horrible anyway.
One of my favorite German pop songs is this, that da 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 da. Du hast den schönsten Arsch der Welt.
You know what? These are all Ballermann songs. These are all the songs that Germans listen to when they go to Mallorca.
Oh, like
which is their Benidorm. Yeah, just absolutely.
Du hast den schönsten Arsch der Welt. Could you translate that for our audience?
Yeah, you've got the nicest ass in the world.
I wonder, maybe colloquially, arse wasn't the best word in that context. Maybe it could be like a bum or something, a botag, or I don't know.
No, arse is fine.
Arse is fine, okay. We have to come back to the serious level. Your music taste just as shy as German. Why, when it comes to comedy, that you have no idea?
I honestly don't know. I think there's an element of being insignificant as a country.
The lost grandeur.
The empire hangover. The empire's gone. That Second World War thing didn't work out. That collaborative effort with Germany didn't work.
Okay, we are 40 minutes in, so we can talk about this right now. No, I do wonder, though, when you say maybe for German, they need a comedy to forget, not to reflect, because they've already reflect so much elsewhere.
No,
That's the final escape.
We've been reflecting. We've all been reflecting.
Have you? No,
Yeah.
come on. No. Now, I'm not saying all Austrians haven't, but it's famous, a lot of Austrians still consider they are just a victim.
Yes, I actually do a joke about this now.
They're not entirely honest with themselves.
There is a vibe of older generations, well, a certain generation, the worst generations, the baby boomers. They still think that we were a victim, which is not true. In my joke, I say it's not like Hitler turned up in his car and went jump in, no time to explain. We were looking for a ride to the same destination. We were fine getting in that car. But I still think, at least for me personally, history lessons in school and everything, every year, World War II was still a topic.
So how
you never got away from World War II. We up here.
Okay, so even it was in the curriculum, what if the pupil are just browsing through TikTok videos and not really listening? So it doesn't make much difference, does it?
I'm too old for that.
So you talk about the loss of empire, which is a very interesting point.
That's just my theory. There has to be something in the national psyche that makes everyone like really dark humor.
So I've heard two theories. Number one, Vienna is disproportionately large as the capital city.
It is.
For Austria as a country. It is only possible because it used to serve as the capital for a much larger empire. When you walk around Vienna, there's a sense of nostalgia and loss. Why is this city so big when the country is so small?
This city shouldn't be here, yeah. Well, it is. I mean, there's 9 million people in Austria and 2 million live in the greater Vienna area.
Yeah, but do you seriously want to merge with Czech Republic and Hungary, and so you guys all have to vote together again? I think it will be a chaotic.
Maybe. It'd be cool. We'll get rid of Orban.
Or maybe Orban ended up ruling a much larger territory.
No, wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't think that the older Austrians are very happy to vote for him.
Yeah,
he's strong. He talks about discipline.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yes.
I was in Austria a few weeks ago, and this is how ignorant people are. Because I'm from a small town. They do nothing but sit there and drink beer all day long and then talk about how shit everything is.
Moan.
Yeah, moan. My mom, she was sat with all these guys, like just drinking, whatever, and they started going on about how Austria needs to leave the EU because look at how great England has it. They mean it when they say that.
They mean it?
Yeah.
Why are they not happy about the EU in general?
Oh, they just need something to rail against.
Was the ability to drive to Italy for holiday so bad?
Yeah, apparently it was. Like not being in a traffic jam for 3 hours trying to get to Italy, apparently is not a good thing or a desirable thing to them. But those are people that don't leave their village. I mean, let alone go to Italy. So, I don't know. That may have brought up a depressing point. Yeah.
National migration plan. They are not allowed to live in a village more than 5 years. They have to move to the next village.
Yeah, keep them moving. Maybe they'll learn something.
Maybe the program should be called How to Solve a Problem Like Austria. I can't believe I forgot to bring up Maria, the Sound of Music, and Von Trapp until now. I forgot to do some yodeling sketch or jokes with you. All right, it's too late. No,
Oh, no. You know, I've never fully watched The Sound of Music.
How could you not?
I knew that would shock you.
That's a human treasure for the entire human.
I'm from near Salzburg, right? That's where it's set. And it's all around you all the time.
And did you not realize the hills are alive?
Oh, kill me. There's sightseeing tours. Like there's whole buses that just say the Sound of Music tour on them. And you get to look at a tree that was in the film. I watched it for a bit. She's twirling around on a mountain. Then she hears, it's lunchtime because she hears the bells from the Dome in Salzburg. That's miles that you would never hear them ever.
I didn't know Sound of Music is supposed to be around Salzburg.
Yeah, it is.
I only know Salzburg is a city of Mozart chocolate bowl, and that's it. It has nothing
you
but
could
Mozart.
Stop that sentence after Mozart. You don't have to add chocolate ball to
You're
it.
giving the young generation too much credit. It's like nowadays, young Brits, like the kids, ask them who Churchill is. They think it's the dog in the insurance commercial.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't assume people know who Mozart is, but if you say Mozart chocolate ball,
chocolate balls, yeah.
You had to be
They are
relevant, relatable.
They are delicious.
The biggest shock I've had in my adolescent life is I used to be a boys' choir. Shock!
Oh, what?
What? But they always made us sing in the middle of the sports field. So other laddie boy would just hit us with dodgeball. Like we have the open target. So annoying.
This is hazing.
That's why I escaped. But anyway, so one of the songs we had to sing. Do you know the Lonely Goater from The Sound of Music?
No.
High on the hill was lonely goater, lay, yodelay.
Oh my God, he's yodeling. Yes, I do know that.
So I wondered, was it American or Austrian or German who composed the music? If it's American, they say this is what
I think it would have been American.
Mountain Germanic people should sound like. But the shock is, in my life, the very first version I heard and I had to sing was The Lonely Goater in Mandarin.
Oh, do it. Please do it.
I need to prepare because Mandarin is a lot more choppy.
So
to do a Lonely Goater, I was constantly biting my bloody tongue to sing that song. And we are
Do you still yodel the same, or do you yodel in a Mandarin way?
We try to yodel, so the yodel bits keep the same noise. It's quite noise, not really singing. But the beginning bit, just to get through every syllable, was such a struggle, and we were always out of breath. So I remember the lyrics sounded like, 青翠的山有个牧羊人呀，雷有的雷有的雷哦。他岳父动人的好歌喉呀，雷有的雷有的雷。Did this sound weird to you?
It's amazing. Yeah, it does sound weird. I'm sorry. Holy shit, that was great.
And when I watched Sound of Music, they stole the song. I didn't realize that's where the song came from.
Oh, right. Oh my God, they're singing my song.
We even had to sing, I think, like a Mandarin version of Solo Mio. That was absolutely bonkers.
Oh, Sole Mio?
I think so.
Please.
How is it? Something about the sun, right?
Isn't the whole song... I mean, that song is as Italian as it gets. You can't change the language.
Chinese it up.
You can't Chinese that up.
I mean, it's a lot of made in Italy, made in EU factories. They were 98% made in China, and the factory have a lost sort of stitch in Italy, the whole thing. So in the middle of big city, there are lots and lots of factories like this.
Really?
Would I get assassinated for saying
and then
this?
Possibly.
We're drifting too far. So where were we? Maria, before Maria, we're talking about the theory. So the theory is the identity of Austrian, but just for Germans, did not exist before the empire was broken up.
Yeah, I don't...
Because German was the official language.
Yeah.
So German was like the highest language in the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Yeah.
Those German-speaking people scatter around different places. If you think about Sudetendeutsch, at some point, I think internationally, there was a plan for even those stretch in Czech Republic to be incorporated into this new German-speaking only Austria. And those people have to quickly form a new identity. We used to be the Austro-Hungarian Empire. We are now left just on our own. Everybody else have gone.
I think so. If you're just like this insignificant little country and you used to be an empire, that's different to the UK, which is still really important on the world stage.
Or is it?
I mean, it's embarrassing, but it's important. Whereas Austria doesn't have an identity on the world stage anymore. No one cares about Austria, and I think that's a good thing. You can just live your life, and Austria has a great quality of life. It's a great country to live in. There has to be something just stuck in people's brains. I don't know, not consciously.
So this is our collective assumption.
A weird self-importance that people have from there, which they don't deserve because it's not even an important country. I don't know how to explain it better than that, but I think there's something there.
You're right, because if Austria had not been broken up, it would become one of those old aristocrats that cannot pay to maintain the big mansion, right? So the fact that you reduced a much smaller country actually makes it more manageable. But for people that remember the glorious past when the empire was on a larger scale, or let's see the Schönbrunn, the beautiful palace, it doesn't really fit the image of a much smaller country.
When you're there, it's like, this is massive. This is like great. This is
just like a really short man having a massive penis. It's like, this doesn't make sense. I have to beat this out.
It's like a sports car, okay? It's not practical. But also, the cool thing is about the whole breaking up of the empire and then Austria becoming this little spot in the middle of Europe, is that we outlawed royalty, which I think is just the funniest thing to do ever. Because one of the Habsburgs sued the Austrian Republic because he wants to go by von Habsburg and not just his surname Habsburg. He wants to have his royal title back. That got thrown out of the court so quick you couldn't even imagine. It was like, now, off. There's no royalty here.
I think
Move to
some
Germany,
German aristocrats are able to keep that. So
Germany, yes. Austria, no.
Okay, this is going nowhere.
Yeah.
I have to
This is all
no. Overall, you think the tendency to go dark comes from the cultural DNA, which is from Austria's modern history, basically. But
that's my stupid idea. All I know is that Austria has a really dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where it comes from, but it does, just as a nation.
But I also noticed when you tell jokes, it's pretty much autobiographical. You rarely, because a lot of people, like me included, a foreigner tend to try to make jokes out of telling British people how they are like when they are not self-aware.
Yeah,
you probably do a bit, but you don't do too much of it. You tell more about your story.
Yeah.
You get it out of the way. I'm from Austria. I have an accent. Probably will creep you out. And then you start to tell your life story.
Yeah, I think that's almost me playing it safe as well. I don't want to...
In what way?
I don't want to tell British people what they're doing wrong.
So it's not like you don't enjoy doing that. It's just...
Oh, I do it all the time. I just don't do it from the stage. I just don't need to tell someone that putting beans on toast is arranged. At this, we know, okay?
I think it's not being on toast. Like, why are you eating toast when they're beautiful bread? And...
Yeah, that's the other. You've lived in Germany. I mean, the bread you could have. Oh, no.
You can kill people with stale bread. How powerful. So it's not like you don't enjoy those jokes. It just, or because you think you have so many stories from your life.
I don't want to do them. I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't want to. I just want to do my jokes.
But when you say you don't want to offend anybody, even though you're able to release short, playful moment when you're telling talk
Well,
jokes.
now that you've told me I have a superpower with my voice, I'm going to start offending people, and then immediately calming them down.
Text me in a week saying you are wrong, Kuan-wen. You're absolutely wrong.
I just bombed so hard.
But would you not worry some of your darker subject could offend people?
Not really. I mean, I always try to make the subject of my jokes myself, so I don't want to joke about the whole nationality.
No, I didn't want to suggest that the thing you've done so far, the approach was offensive. I'm more interested in knowing when you do the slightly quirky, chirpy moment, was it subconscious or was it deliberate? When
I'll tell you what,
it's a
very simple little trick that I do, which is I laugh at my own joke on stage. That's all I do.
That's true, yes.
That's what brings it out. Like, I don't do it deliberately either. It just, I have this weird reaction to a crowd really going for a really dark joke that I've done, that I crack up a little bit myself. I don't do it consciously, But I think that puts them at ease, and they're like, oh, he's.
But that's something you do it naturally without thinking. Now I have to come up with a plan to make them feel. See, look at what a silly man I am. So don't take me too seriously.
I've not gone that deep ever. I think if I ever had to write my own hour-long show, I would really have to think about that.
So you're not like you're having a script and say insert a chuckle here to appear less dark.
Yeah, I actually have a little cheat sheet on my hand that says joke 1, chuckle. No.
I remember you said, I heard it on a podcast you don't particularly enjoy doing jokes about being Austrian. As you said a bit earlier, you don't think making jokes on an entire nationality is that funny, right? Yeah. But you do make that at the start, just get it out of the way.
I do it because I have to.
And you did in a dictionary define sense of irony. Irony is saying something the complete opposite of what you mean.
Oh, yeah, that is
and
what
you
I do.
say that there's no one famous from Austria. There are plenty of people that's famous from Austria.
People always build their own punchlines to that jokes. In their head. Most of them think of Schwarzenegger instead of Hitler.
Really?
Yeah.
I was bad. The one I thought of first was Conchita Wurst. La Reine d'Autriche, of course. And then, when I was thinking Hitler, the clip I was watching you do, you were insinuating Joseph Fritzl.
Oh,
that was a very early old one, yeah. And the later one, when I thought it should be Hitler, that you're implying is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, for a small country and people sometimes mix you up with Germany, you have a good stock of people to make reference.
People that became world famous. Yeah, we do.
Is there not a good one? Is there not a more positive?
Mozart?
Well,
I'll throw him out there. Pretty much it. Are we done? No.
No.
Okay.
No one has to say that before.
It's just because he came out. Julian came out.
He had lunch, I think. I could smell something he was eating. Technician was eating food.
This is all going to stay in the recording.
I don't know. Depends on how funny they sound like. Because sometimes you want to make it sound casual, but it's overly done.
Yes, this is what I wanted to say. Yeah. I have to address the fact that I'm Austrian. It's because in my first 5 gigs or so, I tried not to talk about it at all. But people actually just sit there staring at you blankly going, like, where is this guy from? Like, you cannot get out a normal joke unless you address where that accent is from. Then people are ready to listen.
But is it possible for you to do just say, come down, I'm from Austria, this accent is a German accent, and then without doing the Austrian joke, you can move on to the next one?
I could do that, but then also when I did my first 10 minutes at the Comedy Store, I had that sit down with the owner, Don, and he sat me down and he was like, I really enjoyed the first 4 or 5 minutes of your set where you talked about where you're from, but then you talked about other stuff. So next time you come here, can you just talk about where you're from? Like, he literally wants to hear the most hack material you have about where you're from.
I didn't suggest a hack. I think what you did was really good, but it was a very good portion of your set.
Yeah.
And still, the venue promoter didn't think it was enough.
When he has new people doing open spots at the Comedy Store, he has a sit down with them when he's there, and then gives you feedback, like for half an hour, unsolicited feedback on your comedy. And you're just sitting there going, okay.
But you can't say unsolicited feedback when they run the club, though. It's like
it's unsolicited. I didn't ask anyone for feedback. I showed up. I was in the green room. I did my 10 minutes. I thought it went great. And then the owner walks into the green room and go, Hubert, can you come into my office? Let's have a little sit down. And I'm like, what? Why?
So what did you decide to do the next time you went back?
I just did it a week ago. I did slightly different material.
But you still didn't do full...
I didn't do 10 minutes of Hitler. I just don't want to do that. Because I know that he gave feedback to Radu, for example, and Victor, both Romanian guys. He gave them the same feedback going, like, now you should do only jokes about being Romanian. And Radu and Victor are amazing comedians who have such a great point of view on various different topics. And he wouldn't even entertain that. He would just go, no.
But did you think that jeopardized your chance of going back for another spot? Or if not, I think you're happy to do it your way.
I don't know. I just don't want to compromise too much. I wouldn't. But
you meet him halfway. You still do a good couple minutes. I still do that. Did it pain you to have to joke about Hitler?
No. No, I actually like joking about it. It's just such an easy punchline.
It is.
Hitler.
But that's why I said whether it pains you, because it's such a obvious...
Possibly because I think the joke that I do to open my set isn't crazy hack, and it's like kind of fine. I only insinuate. I don't actually say Hitler. And that's why, like, people laugh, but they laugh for different reasons, because some of them think I'm talking about Schwarzenegger. So whatever. They build their own weird punchlines in their head. I do those jokes, and this is what I wanted to get out. And I do the jokes about my life. I don't want to joke about politics or this country or anything too much, because I don't think my opinion is important, and I don't want to impart my opinion on people when I'm doing comedy, which is completely at odds with certain comedians who think that they're modern day philosophers. They're not. You're not deep thinkers. You tell jokes.
That's true. I agree, because I had a debate with someone, and our fundamental difference is I define ourselves as entertainers.
Yeah.
And he defined ourselves as artists.
Oh, nah.
No, I say no. I say I have...
Have you ever seen Sam Morrill? He was on at Letterman, and Letterman asked him, so artists like you, and he went, oh wait, hang on, do I call you an artist? And Sam Morrill went, I sometimes think we are artists. And then I'm at a club, the MC, see someone go to the toilet, and he goes, number 1 or number 2? And he's like, we're not artists.
Last question is on other podcasts you mentioned about your very traditional Catholic upbringing.
Yeah.
How much does that affect your philosophy, your comedy?
Not really. It affects me in the way that I broke out from that. I left.
You fled.
I fled. I left the church. All of that. Because in Austria, you have to pay money from when you're 18. You pay church tax.
Yeah. Yes. The dodgy Germanic
as soon as
stuff.
they started charging me, I was like, oh, I'm not using your service.
You have to pay. So if you pay church tax,
unsubscribe, please.
And the money goes eventually from the state to church?
No, it's called church tax, but you're basically being charged by the church directly. It's not a tax.
Oh.
Yeah, I left that. I left that small little town that I'm from, and I grew up traditionally Catholic. I wouldn't say Catholic, because I don't think my parents actually believe. I think it's a cultural thing. So you go to church every once in a while, so people know that you're still there. It's not, they don't go religiously, if I can put it that way.
It's like a minimum level of pretense.
Absolutely, yeah. And I never subscribed to any of it. So I left, and I don't think it affects me much at this point. It's just the way I grew up. It wasn't oppressively religious.
So you don't think that this repressive Catholic upbringing has contributed to your bleak, dark worldview? That's what I'm trying to insinuate.
Maybe.
Because we're talking about, you think it was a loss of empire, the Austrian comedy. But for you, more personally, before a certain age, you couldn't really resist how you were brought up. Even though you say your parents were not very strict or devout Catholic. Yeah. But I was listening to the other podcast. You did have to go to church and all the stuff. And now you're free, but you were not free.
Well, my parents didn't even go. They sent me with a neighbor lady every Sunday.
No, but you then said also during a lockdown, you were forced to live in Austria 3 months with your parents. I wouldn't even want that to happen to me. But
I wouldn't want that to happen to you.
But do you see yourself retire one day and live in your village?
No, I don't think I can at this point. I'm planning on leaving this country next year. And I think I'll move to Vienna or Berlin. After 11 years in London, I don't think I can move back to a tiny little village of 4,000 bigots.
So you're not permanently tied to London, but it will be another city, not a dwarf, not a village.
No more dwarf. No, I don't think I could do that.
Normally, I would end up
Would you? What's your plan? Are you retiring in the UK?
I don't know. I mean, I hate to be around my parents. My mom drives me nuts. But they are my parents after all, so I don't know what to do. I'm just avoiding I'm like a climate change denial.
Oh, only with your personal future.
Yeah, like would I feel any guilt or shame? My mom needs someone to take care of her, but I choose to live abroad. I don't know. We haven't come to that point yet, but she's really, really a lot to take on. Yeah, I escaped a whole continent from her. So.
Yeah, you really moved away.
I normally will end on a fun note.
Okay.
But since you're such a bleak person, we will just end on a very bleak note.
Okay.
As it is.
Well, how?
No, before you asked the Taiwanese question, it was actually very bleak. So I wanted to end it on that point. But now the whole thing doesn't make much sense. Anyway.
No, let's end on a fun note.
Like what? Do you want to sing?
Do you want to sing another song
No,
in
I
Mandarin?
think you should sing The Lonely Gota with me.
No, I can't do that.
You can't do it.
I can't do it.
No,
I don't even know the lyrics.
We'll just end it. Forcibly end it.
Okay.
Can we have your social media? How do we find you and follow you?
Yes. Oh, God. On Instagram and Twitter, I'm at HUBS Hoops. And then my surname, Mayr, M-A-Y-R. So HUBS M-A-Y-R. And if I can hype something, I don't know when this is going to come out.
September, I think September.
Okay. Well, then forget about my
Edinburgh.
I'm not going to hype
Do you
anything.
think I do things that last minute?
Yeah, I was
insulting.
hoping, but no, you actually.
On your Instagram account, when you say it's like hoop something, right?
Yeah.
You probably should do a video in the future. It's like, oops, I did it again. All right, okay, that's a stupid note.
You can do that video for me. I'll regram it.
All right, that's been Hubert Mayr today in this sweltering weather. We're gonna go drain ourselves of the sweat, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.